Well, hey there, YouTube, fellow silver staffers, silver pours, silver enthusiasts, and anyone else who just happened to stop by. Welcome. AG Ender with you here today, and on this nice Saturday, I'm going to get to do some pouring here in a bit. A little cleanup to do. I was stripping some copper out of some motors here. Did a few down there already, but I've got quite a few more. Had about 3 dozen, maybe 40 total. So I got a little work in the way of copper removal there. Now, Thursday and Friday in my live stream and then in Mr. Zeke's last night, said I'd kind of show what I've got in the way of empty. Right there in that basket outside, it's about $300 worth of empty map and propane tanks. And then I got about another 50 worth sitting right here on the bench here in the shed. So I definitely have had enough to make at least one furnace purchase, though I have yet to do so. There's probably some other bottles that have gone out with the waste management company when they come by and do their hazardous waste pickup, paint, oil, fuel bottles, whatever it might be. So it's at least half again that probably. I suspect there's probably another 10 or 20 bottles around that either got taken or they're put away somewhere else, and I just don't see it. But like I said, get to clean up and get to some routing out some new shapes for some new pours today. I've got 5 or 6 at least, maybe 10 to 12, depending on how busy I get. And hopefully they all turn out just as well as some of my other ones have been turning out lately. But I'm kind of rambling now, so hold tight. I'll be right back with probably some routing out, show you a little bit of what I do in the way of making the shapes in the wood before I pour the silver into it. So hold tight, I'll see you in a moment. Well, as you can see, all cleaned up now and ready to start making some shapes and doing some drawings here on the wood. So I just want to show just quick here with one what I do. Now this is probably one I could have done with a ruler and drawn out that way, but I get on the computer, find the picture I want, print it out, mess around with it scale wise until it seems to be a scale that will work either for myself to pour or to match what the individual would like weight wise. And I go ahead and print it out and cut it out. Sometimes I'll cover it in tape a little bit so it stays a little more rigid and doesn't tear as easily. And I'll nail in corners or detail areas and then just trace it. So that doesn't take much more explanation. So I'll come right back after I get it traced and show you how it looks before I start hitting it with the router. So there we go, all drawn out. Got the Michigan M, the Wolverines, and we'll see how this turns out. Now I'm going to have to cut these corners off. In the actual logo, it has the corners all full here on the bottom of the M, the legs. But I'm going to have to cut those off because I think if I didn't, I'd have silver flow into the middle and it wouldn't turn out at all. So sometimes you have to modify the design just a little bit from the original to make it work with what you have. So that's one. Got a couple other things I'm going to draw out here and then get to routing. So hold tight. I will be right back. Oh, here we go. As you can see, you got 3 different shapes, but 4 different tracings, since somebody wanted 2 Tennessees. So we've got 2 of those drawn out on there. So we'll get to routing here in a moment. What I like to do is just clamp it right here to the edge of the bench with just a big clamp. Keeps it nice and sturdy. And I've got a little chair here that rolls, so I can go back and forth. And I missed a bench. So get that clamp in there so it doesn't move on you when you're using the router. Which I have 2, well, 1 router and a Dremel with a router attachment. Of course, the attachment helps with the finer detail. Get these nails out of the way so they don't get lost. get to routing here shortly. I do have 50 ounces of Silvertown bars here. I also have in this box, I'm doing a pour for somebody. They sent me 14 ounces to melt. Now the YPS bar, I think I'm going to keep that one and transfer that over to just some of my silver that I bought over time and throw that in with mine. But I can't afford to do that with the Geiger here. So I'm going to hold on to it for now. Anyone watching, checking it out, let me know if you'd like this. It is out of the plastic. A few little scrapes in it. It's got its sticker there still. Just the back. So let me know. Anybody likes that and would like to trade for it. Like I said, can't afford to keep it for my stack right now, or I would. If I don't hear back from anybody, it will be melted down. So I've also got a little punch out round, just a silver eagle replica. And then for compensation, he sent me a couple other coins here. A Republic of Panama 1970 5 Balboa. And I put it in this bigger flip because the flip it was in actually broke. The plastic cover broke. They also sent me a 1875 1 Corona in Sweden. So we can get some better focus here. There we go. Here's the other side. Looks like Oscar the Second. And then the last one was 1883 V-nickel. So we'll get these poured for him. He wanted the Michigan and the Michigan Wolverines logo, and I'll see where that leaves me silver wise. I do have another idea. He was talking about a hexagon, and then if there was something left, that you would leave it up to me to come up with something, which I think I have for him. Here's the hexagon that was going to be included with that. 2.22 ounces there. But again, I am dragging on, so for those who are using headphones or have their speakers up, fair warning, it is about to get loud, because I'm going to at least start using the router. I used a big one, full size, just to get the general idea done, and then I transfer over to the Dremel with a router attachment to it for the small parts, which I think I'm going to have to change this blade over before I start, because I think it's getting pretty dull. We'll see. Maybe not right yet. It will need to be changed soon. I did buy a new one this morning. So anyways, like I said, turn down the sound. I don't think I have the software to do it with, but I'd like to time lapse this part, but we'll see how it goes. I don't think I have the software to do that, but if I do, then disregard turning down the volume. So here it goes. About to get loud if I can't. basic kind of hit there. You get the basic shapes, but they're not quite real finely done yet. Something else I'll do is get all these little shavings that aren't quite cut off, but aren't quite still attached. So I typically just burn them off, and it gives me a nice clean edge again to work with, so I can see the lines and where everything is. So we'll pause the video for a moment, get these other two cleaned up and ready to go, and then show you all four of them pre-pour and then get some silver melted. So hold tight, I will be back. Well, there's the M and the first Tennessee. Still got the Michigan and the second Tennessee to go, but there's that. Now, for those who are curious time-wise, what this takes, I left my apartments and I had to come somewhere else to do this, since the apartments would probably frown upon lighting things on fire, since all we can use is a single 1-pound propane tank when we barbecue, no charcoal and no bigger tanks. But it was 9:30, probably got here about 10, but I probably had about an hour worth of cleanup and some of the copper stuff. So far this has probably been about an hour and a half worth of work, between at home on a computer, cutting out the shapes and tracing them, and then doing the router work. So just something if you were curious about time-wise. We'll get this Michigan cleaned up, all the detail I can, and the Tennessee, and then we'll get to the part with fire. Hold on, I'll see you soon. Well, here we go, bar number 1 about to go in. I'm going to try the M here first, see how we end up. I'm thinking it could be close to 6 ounces. I'm going to try and get it as close to 5 as I can, so I can make more than just these 2 pours for who wanted them, but we will see. If they're both 6 apiece, it doesn't leave much to do another pour, but we'll see. He did throw in some extras that are worth enough to cover it, so hopefully I can get enough pours for him that really makes it worthwhile for him, but we'll see. So hold on tight, I'll see you in a moment once this is ready to go, and I guess while that's heating up, I'll take the plastic off of a few more of these. So I will see you in a moment. Okay, the part I know you've been waiting for. Time to see some fire. I'm going to do the first pour here into the M. Well, looks like that turned out okay. Maybe could have used a little bit here in this left leg, but it filled in for the most part there, and actually did not use the whole 5 ounces. So this may not quite end up being 5 ounces when I'm done, but it probably will be, with as much surface area as there is that's going to burn down and make deeper ridges where it does burn. So we'll get this cooled off here, let it burn down, do its thing, and come back for the second pour. I'll see you in a moment. Now, just real quick here, here's how it looks after the first pour. And the back side, there were a couple of bubbles in there, so this will definitely take the full 5 ounces, I believe. Couple ridges here, so it should look pretty decent here on the next pour. Not bad on the first one as it is, but I like to get that little bit deeper burn look on the back, and that's what people tend to like. I'm actually a little surprised how smooth this ended up, because usually they don't end up near this smooth on top after the first pour here in wood. I'm curious if temperature has something to do with it, because it's probably pushing 65, almost 70 already, and the last few weekends it's been either cold in the 40s or 50s, or it's been raining and the moisture in the air. So it's something I'll have to experiment with maybe a little bit and see how things turn out with a little bit more, I don't know, a little warmer weather. Maybe not preferable, to some. I do like it a little on the cooler side. But anyways, I'll be right back with the next pour instead of rambling on. Try and get a little zoomed in for you here on this, at least for the pour. Now I gotta try and set up a couple things here because I need to cover this once I pour it. I've got my cover here, so we'll get this ready. It is ready to go, so let's get this pour done here. There we go. It did basically take the full 5 ounces plus maybe whatever little extra there may have been in the dish. So for those who haven't seen my previous videos, I do like to cover it here at this stage because I've found the way I do it, it ends up giving me a nice smooth finish that I really want to. I can get nice and mirrored. So that's where we're at right now. So we'll let that do its thing and come back in a couple minutes and see how it looks. I will see you in a moment. So here we are, pre-polish after the second pour. It is nice and smooth, pretty much all the way around. Little kind of dimply ridge here you can see there, but it's nice and smooth everywhere, nice and uniform. And even only being a second pour, it did get nice definition here on this side from the wood grain. And as you see, I couldn't do a third pour if I wanted to in this one since the middle part of that M did break off. That is why I didn't square off, like I said, the edges here, because I knew those were going to be real tight and either break off before I wanted or just overflow. So there's that. I'm going to cut this video here on this piece off and come back for these other pieces here for a second video. I know this one's probably going to be pushing 15 minutes at this point, so there we go. In the next video you will see this as a finished product. So thank you for stopping by. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all greatly appreciated, and I will catch you next time. AG Ender signing off. Have a good day.